morning, everybody. How are we this morning? I hope this new day finds you doing well. Thank you for the two people already here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Let's see what's going out there in your world. Michael says, howdy. Michael, how you doing this evening, morning? Morning time for me, evening time for you. Oh, I'm just waking up trying to get my day going here, guys. Young Sanders, good morning to you. Thank you all for the thumbs up and all that good stuff. Doing well in the Philippines. How about my good friend Sanders down in Texas? You doing well down there? It's a cool morning here again, but it is winter time, I guess, or fall technically. So we're gonna have this weather where I don't get to sit outside in the mornings and enjoy myself very much. All I can tell you, our life gets complicated. Man, lives get complicated. Do we ever remember a time when our lives were simple? Young Miss Bai is in the house. Thank you for being here. Good morning to all, she says. Yeah, 69's nice. That would be just right for me. Very nice. Everybody say hello to everybody. Michael's here, Filipino Bai's here, and young Sandus is in the house. His channel, so you guys gotta make sure you go and visit everybody's channels. So it's about 45 degrees here, so it should warm up today to be a decent day, which is good. Good. I got a few little things I gotta try to get done, even though my back is still just not getting better. You know, I'm starting to think maybe he's got a tumor. Maybe he's got a tumor. I don't know, though. Shoot, man. It usually takes about a week to get better. It's been over a week now, so. Halloween's coming up. As you know, 26 is coming up. Thank God this Saturday, so we can get this freaking Halloween party over with. I will be very excited. 4 thumbs up, 8 people in the house. Drop us a chat. Let us know who's all here. Let us know what you guys want to discuss today. We have an open topic. I've been, well, for just a little bit, working on a few things. Mondays are important days in my world because I have to take out the trash. It's pretty pathetic. Ow, crap. When you're hot. So you can't make me laugh. When the highlight of your day is taking out the damn trash. Filipina says, good night, everyone. It's rainy over here. Time for her to go night-night. Go to sleep. God bless you all. Be safe, Father. Good morning, everyone. Yeah. Is this the way old age is going to be? Are we always just going to feel kind of stiff in the mornings? Well, okay. Official says, I eat cats for breakfast. Well, that's outstanding. I'm very happy for you. 10 people, 11 people watching. Drop some chatting in there for us. Let us know who's all here. And give us a thumbs up as you come in. Official is saying JK. I don't know. And Michael's laughing at you because JK is just kidding. So why don't people write out words anymore? Well, you know, but I'm one of these people that believe that if you want to eat cat for a living, or sorry, and you know, in the mornings, well, then you're right. I think people want to do what makes them happy. And if kitty cat eating in the morning works for you, well, there you go. Because we're going to be without Jack for a little bit. Why? What happened to Jack? I didn't get a message. What did he do? Hurt himself? I haven't got a message from him. Well, what happened to Jack? Am I Filipino? No, I'm American. My wife's Filipino. Oh, his internet ran out. Oh, all right. Well, he'll scrape up some pesos. Somebody will give him money. Um, he's always broke. No offense to Jack, but, you know, we've all tried to support him financially, and it just doesn't work. He's always broke. But he'll figure it out. He always does. Somebody comes through the last minute, gives him $20 or $30. So internet ran out. Post it. Yeah, he's broke. Hello to you, official. Well, you know, Jack went to the Philippines some years ago, and he's got himself into a bind that I personally have gone over details about how to get out of the hole, how to build a ladder to start niching your way out. And, you know, he was so dependent on his mother, which no longer supports him. But then again, Jack is 40, you know, so, but he always figures it out. This is nothing new. Nothing new, you know. There's a lot of people that I know that would be happy to be in this situation. You know, that I know, and I've known and know some people that would be happy to have a home to live in with free utilities. So, you know. And I know a lot of people that think they would like to live in the Philippines. Nope, but I'm American. My wife's from the Philippines. There's a lot going on in the Philippines right now. Or like on our little YouTube world in Philippines, our YouTube world. But right now there's still no information on the American that was shot and kidnapped. The longer it goes on, the more he's probably just dead. There's more and more speculations about his illegal behaviors. You know, I watched a bunch of his live videos where I don't know if he was doing it for clicks and views, or if it's truly foreshadowing his future. But it seems like on his live streams, because I went back and watched, he definitely enjoyed talking about how dangerous where he was and how nobody liked him, and he wouldn't know what he would think if somebody kidnapped him and all that. So I don't know if he was doing that woe is me, drama me. Yeah, he was being a loan shark and some other things. So, but I think one thing you can't do in a foreign country, and this is for everybody, unless you're a citizen of that country, I don't think it's the smartest thing to badmouth where you live at, right? And I think, who knows what happened, but yeah, maybe he made too many people upset in the community, and the community decided to deal with him, is what it's looking more and more like speculation-wise. But in their community, tight-knit communities like Muslims communities, it's not appropriate. It's like, you know, it's like that crazy one YouTuber, ow, crap, who went to Dubai. And I can't remember her name, but it was a female girl. It was a female girl, unlike a, you know, female boy. Well, then again, she went over to Dubai, right? And talked trash about their food. And then she got in an argument with somebody like at a rental car counter and got in major trouble with it because she wasn't aware enough or didn't care enough, or she was looking for that viral video where she's yelling at somebody behind the car desk or whatever you want to call it, rental car agency desk, in hopes of getting clicks and views, right? And so we don't know what this kid's motivation was, but she's no longer, I mean, she got in trouble in Dubai, you know. She did a little bit of time in jail and they sent her away. So you have to know your environment the best of your ability. And I think at this point in time in the world, you either have to be really, really calculating or stupid to do some of the things that he did in a part of the Philippines that he did them in. I still hope, and I think there's a small chance that he will be returned or that he'll be found alive. I don't know, though. I just don't know. But yeah, you can't. Well, and Michael, here's a question because this is what I thought was funny. This has nothing really to do with him, but loan sharking is kind of like a business in the Philippines, it seems. Over the years, we've had numerous people wanting us to start a money lending business in the Philippines. And I've told my wife when this first came up years ago, where people wanted us to start a money lending business in the Philippines. One, stupid, crazy, bad business. It doesn't seem like bad business. It sounds like bad business. Because there's no way that you could really guarantee getting your money back. There's no way to guarantee it. Unless you're going to be kind of like a loan shark, right? You're going to have somebody on the ground who can enforce those loans. So when I was studying about having a money lending business in the Philippines, it seemed to me like that was kind of a loan sharking business. So as a common practice, and he was just new to it, is a common practice for the Philippines and just not common practice in his devoutly religious community. Yeah, yeah, that's it. And so, but to me, when we were first presented with this the very first time, and I didn't know any better, and I started studying on that, it truly seemed like it was loan sharking, and or what we call in the United States usury, and over an abundance of a charge or a tax for that service. And I didn't like it, so we've never done it. We would never do it. And one, I don't do business in the Philippines. We know better. I don't think anybody should, you know, if you hope to, I don't think anybody like me who's married to a Filipino living in America should do a business in the Philippines. Super high interest rate, which is what loan sharking is. But then I know the system was set up to where you could also just, like, you can pay payments while you carry that loan. It does. It is truly a way to take advantage of the less fortunate. Furry's in the house. Hello, mate. Hello, guys. Good to have you here. Thank you. How are you doing in your part of the world? How are things this morning for you? Thank you for the thumbs up as you came in. I appreciate that. So what is going on in your world, Furry? So that's where I'm at on that. Michael, maybe you know better than I. I'm sure it's illegal in the Philippines, but it's probably another one of those things that is not tracked, taken care of, followed through with, or maybe, politicians and law enforcement, they get a cut of it or they're part of it, and so it's not, prosecuted. I think it's illegal there. I would imagine, I would hope it'd be illegal there, but I don't know for sure or not. When we are always approached, I say, oh no, it's perfectly legal to do this, it's perfectly legal. And I'm like, well, that's great. I'm glad it's legal. That's what I was always told. That it was very legal, but it's definitely not moral. So we didn't want anything to do with that. Yeah, you think they turn a blind eye? So there leads the question, did that have anything to do with his disappearance? Yeah, me either, but we were told, no, you can do this, it's legal, but and I don't mean to pick on the people of the Philippines, but I wouldn't trust anybody in Thailand either, or Germany for that matter. I don't trust people easily. So if somebody's talking to me and they go, no, trust me, man, no, I'm going to go verify. I'm going to go try to figure out myself before I get myself into a world of trouble. And but I think this kid, and I think he's a kid, I think he probably didn't have the greatest home world, from what I can see from his live streams, that he got in way over his head. And I don't think, there's a really good chance that he'll never be found again. Frey says, I'm good, recovering from work injury. So enjoying the holidays, okay. Says, I would not trust many foreigners. Absolutely. Well, one, let me just say, sorry that you got injured. That always sucks. Me being an old safety guy, I always find work injuries interesting. So how did you get injured? And two, I don't think you can, one thing, I think you ought to keep the circle of people around you that you do trust, very small. I can count on my hand the people that I trust. So, Darwin was on to something from Kiko. Kiko, good to see you this morning. So yeah, I wouldn't trust people from any foreign country. That includes Nigeria princes, who have told me that I have won the lottery, or that I am a descendant of a Nigerian prince, whatever that scam was, I don't remember. So, but yes, do not trust. You can't not trust people around you unless they've earned your trust and you've spent time with them and you know what their true characters are. And this is not to pick on anybody, but it is the way it is. But it also sounds like, I don't know. It just seems kind of weird situation, but it sounds like, yeah, he got himself into this situation by not being a good person. I don't know if that's true or not, but he truly seemed like he's setting himself up, for disaster. Self-fulfilling prophecies, so to speak. But what are we going to do? Kevin Wade in the house says, I had a guy from India tell me that I won the lottery and that I needed to send him $2,000 first to get my lottery money. I know, only $2,000, right? That's what I do. I said, what, all you need is $2,000? Are you sure? I can send you a whole lot more, Yeah, some of the scams are kind of interesting. Wow. Broke my shoulder lifting granite lentils. I don't know what a lentil is, but that sucks. There's a young American who went missing in the Philippines, was kidnapped in the Philippines. Speculation is that he's dead. So, but back in the day, there's a lot of really good scams. You know, the money order scam was one that I had a friend, and I told him about. He's an older guy. He was actually a retired cop, and he called me one day. He was all excited because he I don't remember the exact details because it's been so long ago, about 20 years ago. But I guess if he could deposit some Nigerian prince's money order into his bank and then wire the Nigerian prince half of it, he got to keep half of it, right? So maybe it's $2,000. And he called me up, luckily, and said, "Well, what do you think?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a scam, Danny. You know, come on, use your cop brain. It's a damn scam." I mean, it isn't, but he's like, "Well," and then, so the money order came in the mail, and he's like, "Man, this thing's real. I'm telling you, it's a real money order." And I'm like, "Well, I understand that they've done a really good job making a money order or copying a money order, photocopy, whatever they've done, stealing them. But I'm telling you, it's not real." And I told him, I said, "Take it up to the bank. And if they say it's real, then put it in your account and then wait until it completely clears before you do anything." And I remember he's like, "All right, well, I took it up." He called me. He said, "Well, I took it up to the bank. The bank said everything looked great on it." I'm like, "All right, but I'm telling you, Danny, it doesn't make sense." I told him, I said, "You're a freaking ex-cop. Why can't you understand this? If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense." But then again, he was an alcoholic. So, and his wife was always yelling at him about money and bullshit. And, you know, they were always overextended. And their kids were sucking them dry, and it was just a bad place. But the bank told him the money order would probably clear if it was good in about 7 to 10 days. So I told him, wait the full days. Call your bank, find out when it clears, it's completely cleared. Well, it wasn't 5 days later, the bank called him and said the money order was a fraud, you know? And so they had some really, even in the beginning, the bank couldn't tell that this money order was a fake. It had to go to somebody through the system who could identify fake documents. And he would have been out a couple grand because he would have wound up having to pay. So what he would have done is cashed the $2,000, right? So he's out 2,000 out of his account. And I think if you're living in a foreign land and you're not smart enough not to do illegal things that the locals don't want or like you to do, then is it your own damn fault of what happens to you? I don't know. Because just like the Thailand and everywhere else, you got to take the temperature of the room. You know, even when you go and teach a class, I would go down to Texas and different places. One of the first things I did was take a room temperature, you know, so that I could figure out if I was going to have a hostile group or if I was going to have a group that was open and willing to listen to things. So you got to read the room wherever you're at. And the more I watch this kid's live streams, there's part of me that says he knew exactly what he was doing. He did it intentionally. It's not like he had a misunderstanding of the culture. He had a very good understanding of the culture. Very good understanding that he was not popular, that he was not wanted, that he was not liked, and he wasn't doing the right things. But he did them anyway. Well, the kid was supposedly taken away by men dressed in all black, carrying M16s, which is not easy to get in the Philippines. He was apparently shot in the leg as he was dragged off and kidnapped. but there's been no ransom for him. So I don't think there is a ransom. And the latest I could see from the FBI and all the other reports is there's no ransom. I think they took him out and killed him. They just didn't want to leave his body, the American body, laying on the ground in the Philippines. Because that would be bad, bad, right? But if you dispose of the body, well, there you go. You don't have, right? No body, no evidence, I think is what they say. So, but yes, I could do that. If anybody would like to send me much money, many, many dollars, I will be happy to send you some back. So, but loan sharking is not a good thing in the Philippines. I mean, what they call money loaning business. I mean, we get approached by this once a year now. It used to be, God, every couple of months, especially when Lorelai first got here. We were hit up by this money loaning scam, every other week. You know, somebody said, oh, you should start this business. We know that you got a bunch of cash. You know, I can manage it for you over here. Yeah. You know, so the real question is going to be with this situation is, one, I don't know, like we talked about earlier, Michael and Kiko and everybody, is, Kevin, is it illegal to have one of the money loaning services? Or in his part of the world, was it just against the culture in his region of the Philippines? Because you can have things that are illegal and or legal, but if your religious community is not supportive of it, then you're not going to want to do it. So that's something people got to keep in mind when you're dealing with other cultures. So, but there's a lot of people pointing fingers now and going, you know, because everybody's analyzing all of his live streams and everything else that happened in all of his own words. So I think this is going to quietly go away. I don't think they're going to find him. And I think in another week it won't be news anymore. Even having money over where you're at is risky. Well, it's risky to have money in America, to be honest. I mean, we know better than to carry, we don't carry our wallets in our back pocket. We don't do that. We always carry in our front pocket. You don't walk around in America with $10,000 or $15,000 cash at any given time either. You know, we have to be very smart in the United States. We don't, well, the smart people, the people that actually have a little bit of money to protect, they know not to flaunt it, not to brag about it, not to show off. It's the idiots that are showing off. It's the idiots that, I mean, it's kind of like the other YouTubers, I find. Oh, what is that kid's name? Jack Dortry, those creepy island boys. They have been flaunting their internet, their YouTube wealth. I'm just shocked that nobody's killed them, that nobody is nobody's done bad to them. Nobody's set them up. No, I mean in the Philippines, I mean go say, oh, all right, I got you. Because a lot of these YouTube personalities, unlike myself, who made a lot of good money, they go a little bonkers. I'm going to tell you, I know another, I mean, they do. I mean, look at that Daughtry kid, Jack Daughtry, who just crashed his Lambo and almost killed his best friend because he wanted to show off. He was texting and driving or reading the chat while he was live streaming in a high-speed car. Not very bright. Now, he injured his buddy. What's going to happen here is, you know, If the buddy's smart, or the buddy's family is smart, they'll take the kid aside that got injured really bad, not real bad, but he got injured. Take him aside and say, now look, we can sue Jack now for $1 or $2 million because he endangered your life. And they can win a lawsuit, a settlement, easily, no question. Happened to Hulk Hogan and his son Nick years ago. You're gonna see, God, I'm thinking, I got so many of them thinking in my brain, thinking about how they do some of this. You know, there's a YouTube channel out there called What the Hells, which in the beginning is a good channel because they they did storage buildings. They would buy storage buildings at auction, and then you open them up and you take the stuff and you resell it and find goodies and you make a living that way. And they did very well at that channel. But they did very well. They grew the channel a lot and they made a lot of good money. Then they decided to buy some land down in Florida to live on, along with their house in Iowa. And they didn't quite like how the little community was that they moved to. They moved to a community of 100 in Florida. Well, they didn't like the way it was ran, the way it was done. So they converted their channel now to be an attack channel, and their channel is swollen, gigantic. It blew up. I think they got probably 1 million subscribers now. All about the drama at City Hall, all about his drama. He's fighting with the water department, he's fighting with everybody. And he's become a bully for money, and he's a bully, and he makes his money being a bully. Well, the tide is starting to turn. People have decided they've had enough with them, and they're fighting back. And so now he's spending shitloads and shitloads and shitloads of money, paying lawyer fees and court fees, because they're all suing each other in this little bitty hick town called Otter Creek. And he's hanging on to his ideology, his goal, his mentality. He's not willing to let loose of wanting to dominate and control and bully these people in this little town. I'm shocked, to be honest, that somebody hasn't shot him. They haven't tried to unlive his ass because he's not a good person. Anytime you have to send money to get money, it's a scam. I won $1 million last month, Publishers Clearinghouse, and only had to send $5,000 for processing fee to receive it. Well, see, that's not too bad. But I agree. I tell people, my young people, about jobs. If you got to pay somebody to make money at a job, then it's not a job. If there is a difference between if you become a mechanic and you need to buy your own tools versus having to pay somebody so you can get your foot in the door to sell product A, B, or C, or D. Money gets to their head. And this is what happened in that What the Hell's. And he sued everybody. He's suing everybody. Every freaking... I don't watch it anymore because it got so hateful and nasty. I don't want the negativity. So I quit watching them when all this kind of blew up last year. Just got to work, so I got to run, everyone. Have a good day. Be careful at work, my friend. Be safe. And tell your boss I said to give you a pay raise. Michael saying, take care of you. I am 27 and self-employed stonemason. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. That's a hard job, by the way. Murray saying, goodbye to you there, young Sanders. But you're right, money goes to their head. And they get stupid. And they're drawing a big target on their back. And that's what I mean by... This kid didn't have a lot of money. It didn't appear to, but apparently had enough money to do loan sharking with, right? So if you're drawing a target on your back, no matter where you're at in the United States or anywhere, and putting a big target on your back, you're not very bright. So maybe he did that from a financial standpoint, but he also did it from a I hate my community and you people all suck standpoint. Because basically on the internet, that's what he said all the time. He's kind of like Tim K. And I know Tim K is doing videos about him and acting like the poor kid and woe is me and all that bullshit. But Tim K's ignorance got him into a lot of trouble in the Philippines. So I think it's kind of funny how Tim K has taken this kid's side, empathizing with him tremendously, because, you know, Tim K did a lot of bad shit to people in the Philippines and in his community. He was very offensive in his community. He wouldn't blend in. He didn't think he had to blend in because he's the American. So why would I have to adapt and or blend in? Why do I have to assimilate into their culture? They're beneath me, so they should assimilate to me. And I kind of get that vibe. I get that vibe from Tim K. I also get that vibe from this kid that went missing, and Andy Omar, and there's a bunch of people out there I get that vibe from. Uncompared to like Bud Brown, who thought it was extremely important to assimilate into his community. Yeah, I think it went out in a bad way. I don't think they will ever find him. Maybe down the road with some DNA testing, they might figure out what happened or that he's no longer alive. But my advice is you can't sit in your house in a community like that and criticize. You know, if you're in a married relationship and all you do is criticize about your wife to your wife, which is your community, how long do you think your marriage is going to last? It's not going to last. So some of these, I'm really shocked that some of these people haven't had more negative repercussions. So after watching this kid's videos, I understand maybe why this happened. You know, watching What the Hell's YouTube channel, I kind of get it. They suck. They're shitty people. And even the What the Hells are kind of like false gods. They're the ones, they're the channel that think they're very godly. He proclaims to be a man of God, but the way he treats people is so anti-God, you know, I guess how to say it, that it's no bueno, it's no good, right? So I'm shocked, or it's not surprising to me, I guess, that this happened to the kid, that What the Hell's maybe finally will be catching up. Somebody like that, Jack Dorsey, you know, he's still making millions of dollars a year doing his stupid shit, where he's actually injured people, where he's bullied people, and had to get his bodyguard to protect him from the guy that he tried to bully, you know, when somebody responded. And that kid, the guy, you know, What the Hell's, and Jack Dorsey is probably very lucky that they live in America. Because if they were in the DR, Jamaica, the Philippines, Thailand, certain parts of the United States, they wouldn't be getting away with any of this. They wouldn't be getting away with this white man burden, where they think just because they're white, that they get to do what, white and rich now, or white privilege, that they get to do whatever they want, or that maybe it's the American privilege. I mean, the guy on What the Hell's, Jeremy's his name, I just think he's a douchebag overall. But he has money now. And so you can tell over the years, when he first started his channel, when he was doing storage units, seemed like a nice guy, him and his girlfriend, because I guess he won't ever marry again because he got a divorce and lost everything and blah, 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 blah. And he's one of those people that touts himself as a self-made millionaire. Look at me, do what I do because I'm great. And if you want to give me money, I will give you some of my time. So, as it get big, so I think you got to be a little bit off your rocker. Just a little bit. If you're going to, thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. That if you're going to go to a place and you know you're going to, yeah, a lot of them haven't worked. They haven't worked a lot. Or they worked some and not. But there has to be something for, and I don't know what term it is, but if you're going to go to a foreign country, which he knew he was, all right, let's get this understood. This kid knew he was going to the foreign country. Knew he was going to marry somebody of different faith, that he would have to convert. So he knew those things. He knew that she didn't want to leave her family. So they wanted to live where the family was, which is a very poor part. So he knew these things and did it anyway. And then he wants to get there and tear them a new asshole about being how bad this part is. That's not a good thing from his standpoint. The kid, Dortree kid, somebody said that his mom and dad has money. He grew up with money in Florida, and he started YouTubing at a young age and got a big following, and now he's worth millions upon millions of dollars. And same thing with What the Hells, I don't know, guys. Scotty B's in the house. Hello to you, sir. How are you this morning? Let me rephrase that. How are you this evening? Got a bunch of people in the house, so thank you for the thumbs up, Scotty. What's going on for you in the Philippines? I'm just rambling on about idiots. That's all I'm doing, Scotty. Do you have a favorite idiot? Don't say me. We're just kind of rambling on this morning about favorite idiots. Still talking a little bit about the kid that got kidnapped, Elliot Eastman, but more in generalities now. Just tired. Oh, you went down and did your extension today. Great. How long did that take you? How long did you take you to get it all done? Was it an all-day ordeal? Because I remember the lines in the Philippines, or at least in Cebu City. And man, we could be at a bank for 3 hours waiting to get anything done. We could wait 3 hours at the mall trying to get into any of the government offices or anything else. So I don't know, man. Wow, that's pretty good, Scotty. Now, when do you got to do your next extension? Like 60 days, 180 days, a year? Is this like number 4 extension for you? Okay, second, all right. Santa Rose. It's a good name of a town. Santa Rose. Santa Rosa. Santa Rosa. There's a movie that has a famous town that they're always looking for called Santa Rosa. So, well, good, Scotty. I'm glad you got that done. What else is going on in the Philippines? Anything? How's the weather? Is anybody in the Philippines talking about the kid that disappeared? Wow, you got a helicopter crashed in a radio tower in Houston. Damn. Was it a tourist one? I bet you it's a tourist one. We've actually been on those quite a few times. I've taken Lorelei up in helicopters. Kiko's in the house. Let's see. I get 2 months at a time. I've been there 8 months now. Man, have you been there 8 months already? Jesus, wow. Yes, Kiko, you do. I mean, you have to ask for it. You can just say, no, I want to, we're married, do the Balak Bayan thing. But yes, yeah, 2 months at a time is now the limit for the tourist visa. So yeah, when we went back, yeah, yeah. When we went through immigration, they asked, something like I don't know if they asked if I had an exit ticket, because Lorelai proved, with both passports that she was a Philippine citizen, a dual citizen, and I think she just told him, said, well, we're married. He's going to do a Balak Bayan, and they went. That was it. So it wasn't like we had to argue with them or fight with them over it or anything like that. She just brought up the fact that that's what it was. It was a piece of cake. Yeah, I see that. I'm looking at that. Hit a radio tower in Houston, Texas. At nighttime, so I wonder if the light on the tower was out. Yeah, it's not giving a lot of details, but yeah. Yeah, right now there's not a lot of details of what may have caused the crash. Let's see here. Nope, they have 6 months, but only at the main office in Manila can you get the 6 month one. Okay, so if you go over to Manila, you can get a 6 months instead of the 2 months at a time thing. Which, look, that's probably the chaos of the Philippines. I mean, you would think if you can get it in one location, you usually would get it everywhere. But then again, we are talking about the Philippines. I didn't know if that was the rule I changed. No, yeah, I mean, I don't remember exactly if Lorelai quickly brought it up or they asked, but it was, stamped right then and there. So when you go back, you can go back on a Balak Bayan if you travel back there, and you don't got to worry about the 30 days thing. Claim that notice to air mission was issued about lights being out on that tower in Houston. Well, that's what I was thinking. The only thing I could think of, night flight, that if the radio tower's lights were out, well, then the radio tower owner is going to be at fault. So, man, the lawsuits are going to come out of that. So Michael says, I saw the video, saw that the lights on the tower was working and flashing. in and out like normal, huh? Oh, I see it. I saw the video too. It's in black and white. It's like a surveillance camera off in the distance. And you can definitely see the light flashing on and off. So it's definitely going to be a pilot error, huh? But you would think, I mean, they're going to dig into this. We'll have to read some of the reports coming out here soon. But if that guy, the helicopter pilot, the company, the tour company, been doing this for a while, you would think, one, their flight plan wouldn't come close to any radio towers. Scotty says, well, it's $11,500 for 6 months, or paid $28.60 for 2 months 3 times, and it's cheaper getting the 2 months. That is funny, isn't it? And you don't got to go to Manila, so you save money, right? That's kind of kooky. Isn't that kooky how that works? Wow. So you're kind of better off just doing it the way you're doing it. So, but yeah, I saw that video too. Helicopter, a Robinson R-44. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. An air flight tour crashed. Well, it definitely took the whole tower down. Welcome to the Philippines. Absolutely. Where logic is not logical. Spock from Star Trek would have never done well in the Philippines, would he? You know. Kiko says, you never want to fly lower than your highest obstruction. Yeah, rule 101. So, and that's what my point is. I wonder what happened because this is a tour company. Hopefully they've been doing this for a while. And hopefully they've been doing them at, you know, so the scene's been cleaned up. The aircraft has been moved to a secure location so they can do the investigation. So the agency will investigate the pilot, the aircraft, the operating environment, gather all flak and track data, weather forecast, airport maintenance, everything, of course. No other structures or homes were damaged by the crash. Woo! Wow. You guys go online and see the video. Well, I'm off to bed. Have a great stream. Thank you, Scotty. We appreciate you, buddy. Michael says, I avoid Manila, too busy. Got to get the satellite officer in Cavite. Much quicker to process. Scotty, get some rest. We appreciate you. Later, everybody saying goodbye to Scotty. Appreciate you. Well, if you go and watch that video footage of that crash, It looks like this. It looks like the helicopter is truly, this is the radio tower. It looks like it literally just goes, not, not trying to avoid, it looks like it just, and then it explodes and comes down in a big, huge fireball down to the ground. So that's kind of weird. I mean, so the guy must have not seen it at all, or maybe it was a suicide mission. I don't know. But the way he drove into that, I mean, it looks from the camera angle, from the horizon, and now it's all from a faraway perspective, that the guy just flew into it directly, boom, boom. Not like he tried to do this or anything. It looked like he was just going straight into it. So that's not good. Plus 4 people, including a child. And so it's probably what? The pilot and a couple, a mom and dad and a kid, is what I was saying. We've been on those tours. We did them in Vegas. We've done them up here in the Ozarks. We like taking helicopter rides. We think it's fun. We think it's way too expensive, but we've done those quite a bit, and they're fun to do. So that's crazy, though. That is absolutely crazy. Let me get back where this was. Ah, all right. Man, college football was crazy again this weekend. And it looks like there's another celebrity. Apparently, Al Pacino, do you know who he is? Apparently, he's broke. Poor guy. Poor guy. He said he used to have $50 million and now he's broke. Whatever. I just can't feel sorry for rich people. You know, what's his broke? You know, if you're used to having, $100 million, what is your broke? 10 million? You know what I mean? So I don't feel too bad for some of those celebrities that didn't manage their money well. Well, I don't feel bad for anybody that doesn't manage money well. I just don't. I get tired when people keep expecting other people to pay for their mistakes. Meaning, if I'm an alcoholic or a drug addict or whatever it may be, and I blow all of my money, then whose fault is it? Is it your fault that I'm broke? No, it's not your fault that I'm broke. It's my fault, and I should do something from it. Time for sacrifice too. Yep. Cut down the living costs, right? Or from a former rich folk. Yep. Michael says he's never been on a helicopter. Thought about it once in Gatlinburg. Been to Gatlinburg. I love Tennessee, but ran out of time. Yeah, we haven't flown. I haven't been on the one in Gatlinburg, but I've been to Gatlinburg multiple times. I used to take students there for a conference. Every year for about 5 or 6 years. So then I got out of that duty and didn't have to do it. Well, it's because they don't think about money the same way. I would suspect they're all going to blame it on somebody else. Every rich person that goes broke always says somebody stole their money or somebody mismanaged their money. But wasn't it the rich person's money? So if you allowed somebody to mismanage it, isn't it your fault? Not their fault because you allowed them to do it? I mean, who's stupid enough to make such large sums of money and hand it over to somebody without any checks and balances. What did you do? What did I do as work and health and safety? Very sad he married a young wife. Yeah. Man, he's old and ugly now, though. I was a teacher at a local college for industrial health and safety and construction safety. And OSHA is basically our government body here for occupational safety and health. And I trained OSHA experts and students who wanted to be safety professionals. He goes, as I try not to let gravity be the winner, but the older I get, the more difficult that becomes. I know we're all going to get low. Someday we're all going to get low. And there's a movie out there called Get Low. If you guys have never seen it, you got to go watch it. It's a really good movie. But we're all going to get low eventually. And gravity's going to win. So absolutely. Right now I'm feeling like gravity's winning in my back. So I still haven't quite recuperated yet. And I'm trying to baby myself so I'll be active on Saturday for Lorelai's big party, which, man, is just crazy. I don't know. I'm going to be so tired this week because not only do I got to bake cookies and make chocolate molds and Jell-O things and get these drinks and figure it out. And it's not even my party, you know? So, and then of course now apparently which, you know, my wife likes because it makes her feel good, but her friends are so excited about her Halloween party that now they want her to throw a Christmas party at our house. God damn. Ah, Kiko, what do I do, man? Can I come live with you? I need somewhere to hide over. Man, because that means starting mid-November, Lorelai will be dragging out all the Christmas decorations. And that means I will spend another chunk of money on Christmas decorations that we don't need. So all of her friends, when they come here in December, can be all impressed. So, just like, man. And now I got to go to Walmart when Halloween is over and buy big or 1 or 2 storage tubs to put all this Halloween decoration that we never had before into. Man. May consider rotating parties. Well, I agree, and what we have here is a failure to communicate. What we have going on in our little neck of the woods is we have a community group, but they suck. And yeah, just go to the multi-million-dollar beach house. Well, I would if I could. I'm still waiting. All I need is $3.5 million. If somebody could just get me that, you know, I would be very grateful. But so what you kind of have here is a large group that sucks, and that group once again is dying because they've taken advantage of the situation. They've ripped people off, or they have failed to deliver what people have paid them money to deliver. Let's say it that way. It's more become about the group of officers and how much they can enjoy what regular Filipinas do. So it's become like a clique, and the majority of the people quit going to their events. Just time to chill out. The parties are over. I can just tell, yeah. Well, and I don't know, man, Kiko. So that's what happens here. So, and this has been going on for a while. But Lorelai has a group of friends, And we all know that. Look, and I don't want to bash Philippine women, but we all know that they take advantage of situations. So my wife's a good-natured person, and she likes people to be happy, and of course she wants people to like her without question. But we do the good thing about like the Halloween party. She does have, and this is going to be kind of my proving point to her. She has had friends show up to help decorate. She has more coming over on Saturday to help decorate. They're all supposed to bring food. So if this group of people, which is not the organization group, they're not part of the organization group. But if they come over and they have a good time, they all behave, they don't steal my pork belly anymore, and if they contribute and help, then maybe that group, which is different from the organizational group, won't be that bad for a Christmas party. But if a lot of people show up who just thinks they're coming here to eat and drink for free, then we're gonna have a real problem at Christmas. It's gonna be done differently. Yes, I want the parties to be over with. It's okay. I like outdoor parties. If you're gonna have a party, have them outdoors. So, I saw a mansion video a while back, and the guy selling it. It had a beautiful forever pool, which is beachfront property. Is that what the mansion you're? No. No, the home I want is on Intercoastal Waterway. Actually, I don't want a beach house, technically. I want it to be on intercoastal water. It needs to have a boat dock and a boat so that I can take my wife fishing every day. That's what I'm going to do. She likes to fish, and I would like to make sure my wife gets to do what she likes all the time. So, my dream is to have a house on intercoastal waterways. And we like Cocoa Beach, Florida, but do we actually want it on the beach? No, we don't. We don't want it on the beach. We want to have a good water view, but we definitely don't want it on the beach at all. I find looking out on the ocean and the ocean only to be boring. I'd rather be able to have a nice lot where you can look out and see things off in the distance. Condominiums, palm trees, bridges. I like to see things far out. For instance, I hear that you love to go boat fishing. Fly fishing is big in Ireland. Yes, I love to fish, period. I do shore fishing, fly fishing, boat fishing. I'll do any kind of fishing anybody's willing to let me go. A wise man once told me, many people spend their money and don't have on things they don't need. Absolutely. Just to impress people they really don't know. You're exactly right. And people that really are not going to matter. That's it. Really not going to matter if these people are impressed with the party or not. So, but you're right. The Filipino mentality, they get value, and maybe all women are this way, I don't know, but they drive a lot of value from feel-good moments. Us men, a lot of times, Mark, we're kind of the opposite. You know, we feel good when our bank accounts are full. We feel good, with other ways. So I know it is kind of a girl thing. So we're going to see how bad this goes or how good it goes. And then, because sometimes what I've learned, Mark, is you got to let people, I can tell you that the stove gets hot. So don't touch. I can tell you that 1,000 times But until you reach out and touch that burner, for sure, then you will finally know that it burns. And I think sometimes with our wives, we have to go through that. We have to let them, even though it's a pain in the ass, and it costs money and time, but we have to let them go through that process of touching the burner. And that's kind of what this is. And then once that happens, the results are much better. But I've learned that I can tell you not to touch that burner until I'm blue in the face. But until you touch it and get burnt, it doesn't sink in. So that's kind of what this is. It's costing money and time. Now, I'm happy for her, just to have her close knit of friends over. I think that's great. You know, you have 5, 6 people over, 10 people. And this Halloween party is getting really big. So I'm hoping that if they're looking at for the Christmas party, last year we went to this other Christmas party, and it sucked. It was boring, but it was fine. It was just boring. But the woman who held it last year, her husband died, I guess, and so she doesn't have it in her to put it on. Still in a pork belly is messed up. Man, you got that right. Still my damn pork belly. After I worked 6 hours to cook that, jeez. But so the lady that had the Christmas party last year that we went to, they had it at a church. It was kind of a boring party. It wasn't very good. But it was too religious for me. But the lady's husband died, so she doesn't want to try to put it on. So they've asked my wife if she'd be interested in hosting a party this year. And I don't know, and we still haven't got the location. And I don't quite know, and Lorelai's going to be working on that over the next week or two. Are they saying that she wants Lorelai to host it and organize it at that church, which we don't go to, or anything like that? Or are they wanting us to have it here at the house? And so if it's here at the house, we will definitely have to cut numbers down. They only had probably 20 or 25 people. But one thing I've learned over the years in the Filipino community is if you have a holiday party, you get a lot of people that show up just wanting the food. They just want to eat the food. They don't want to contribute. They don't want to be a part of it. They just want to come in and go, oh, yeah, you know, eat the food and get out. And that's really tacky. So, you know, we're going to see. It's part of the reason why we always do a very simple, private New Year's thing. Yes, you're right. Women do a emotional suspending. Men are stuffed or things based, but can both spend money. We can. You know, I think men and women equally get out of hand, just different ways, like you bring up, Mark. And you also got to have that fine line between saying no and saying yes, Mark and Kiko and some of you guys. Luffy's in the house. Thank you for being here. Do I know some 90s songs? Technically, I do not. At least, not that I know of. But thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. So, I mean, I don't know. I think for us husbands, we get caught between a rock and a hard place. Because especially if our wives have jobs. So they're earning their money, they're bringing in. Now, I have a different financial mission than my wife, without question. My financial mission is for her, but they have a different perspective. And so it's kind of like, no, you can't spend some of the own money that you want, that you bring in. That's not right either. But you also got to try to dampen that down and use the money that they do bring in more wisely than maybe what they would. So how do you navigate that? How do you navigate that? And I don't believe in putting my wife on allowance. I don't think that's right. So I think you got to teach and educate, which maybe is not a good thing, but that's kind of what I think you have to do. I think you have to look at this from, you got to trust. But when you have two different financial goals, or let's say one person has a financial goal and the other one is not so concerned about the future finance, then I think you have challenges. But some of you guys who've been married a long time, maybe you guys have some deep insight that us people who have only been married for a couple of days don't know or understand. So, Lovely, I'm assuming that you know 90 songs apparently then. I bet you Michael knows 90 songs as he's a music person, so. So yeah, but I know they get a lot of mileage. A lot of really good feel good moments from doing parties and events and belonging. And of course, everybody wants to feel like you're a leader or respected or looked upon. But what guys do a lot of times is that we look for the reason why somebody's looking up to us. We immediately go, well, wait a minute. Okay, I get that you're buttering my biscuit, so to speak, but why are you doing it? What is it in for you? We recognize that when somebody wants you to host a party, they want you to host a party so they don't have to. So they don't got to clean up their house. They don't got to pay out the money. They don't got to decorate. They don't got to do all of that stuff. They can just show up at the party and enjoy it and go on. So we see as men, we kind of do that. I think we're more like that, more inclined to analyze it from that standpoint. But I don't know. So I'm hoping Michael says, I know a lot of it. I know a lot of music. So yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to know when to say, no, I don't want to do the Christmas party. Versus, because, saying yes, okay, but, or, the limitation. So you got to figure all that out. And I don't know if there's a right answer or there's a wrong answer. I don't know. Maybe there's not a right or wrong direction that you go in this situation. So right now, she has a group of people talking about this Christmas party. And hopefully somebody else would say, you know what, you could have it at our house, it's bigger. And then you could help coordinate, it would be great. Because that's what I suggested. I suggested that she put a team together and get a team to help her organize this, because maybe somebody else will come up and say, oh, this is getting too big for your house. Maybe we should go to that church or a civic building or somebody. We have some friends that have really large houses, and I mean really, really, really large houses that have great outdoors, even for the winter. So, yeah, a community building, the problem with that is, and I agree with you, in order to pay for one of those, now you have to charge entrance fees to it, because around here, community buildings are not free at all, and they are not cheap. So, because we live in a community where there's always activities going on by so many different cultures and groups. So there's not a free community center, period, anywhere. If you belong to a church, a lot of times they will have a community room that a church member can use, But, you know, but I agree with him. It's a good concept. I'm hoping that maybe this will die on the vine. One thing that I learned in my teaching career working at the college was I had a boss who, one thing I learned from him was if you didn't like a topic or a subject or didn't want to go down a road, you just hope and prayed that it died on the vine. And so you quit talking about it, you quit working on it, you quit thinking about it in hopes that it truly would just go away. Instead of him resolving the issue, he would just pretend it didn't exist in hopes that it would go away. And a lot of times we're so busy in life that people would move on from that subject and go to the next one. I saw it happen all the time. My personality is not that way. I don't think it's great to do that. But I do think there are times when letting something die on the vine is not a bad thing. Stacy Chapman's in the house. Thank you for being here. Good morning to everybody. They're saying. Stacy, how are you today? How are things going for you in your world? We're having a pretty good morning. It's Monday. It's trash day. I got to take my trash out later. So I got to work on that. But thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up as you came in. Appreciate it. So Stacy, tell us what's going on in your world. You got any thoughts or questions or comments about anything? Anything in the media lately struck a nerve with you? Furry saying hello to you, Stacy. So that's where, I guess, what do we call that? Would that be passive aggressive when you just let something die on the vine? Yeah, I think everybody in here is doing pretty well. It's chilly in our part of the country. And it should warm up. It's about 55. It's supposed to get 65 today. So it should be a good day. I've been nursing a back injury. So I'm trying to get better. We got a Halloween party coming up soon. So I got to get healthy enough for my wife's Halloween party. This is what I'm trying to do. So we were talking about the helicopter crash down in Houston, Texas earlier that happened overnight. Apparently a tour helicopter flew directly into a radio tower in Houston, killing 4 people, one of them being a small child. Michael said hello to you, Stacy. So now, and look, if we want to flip the coin, or flip the other side of the script. So you're up in Maryland. All right, yeah. Getting 76 today. Nice. Yeah, it's getting there. You know how old age is. You know, sometimes you pinch a nerve. I got a lumbar nerve that acts up. Yeah, Michael was mentioning it to us earlier, and I looked it up on the internet, and sure enough, yeah. But on the other side of my complaining about the Halloween party and the Christmas party, at least we have the ability to have those. So if you want to look at it from that standpoint, we, although they're not my favorite thing to do by any stretch, but the simple fact is we are blessed enough that we can do those things. So they do cost us a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of stress. But what I guess the only thing, how I weigh it, because we're the type of people that we never go to a party empty-handed. We also, Stacey said hello to Michael, amen, about the being able to do things. Parties can be fun. 82 in here right now in the Philippines. Nice. But we believe that you never go empty-handed, and we believe that you do your part at a party. So I often try to take out the trash or do whatever I can do to help. You know, if everybody had the same mentality, I think it would be more worthwhile doing. But in our circle, in our expanded circle, there are a lot of people that will want to take advantage of a party and not lift a finger, and they don't see the problem with that. But maybe things are changing because I've told you guys all in the past that we had a lot of drama with one of the other parties early this summer where people stole the food, where they literally, not my pork belly, this is a different party, where they came in and before everybody was eating, even got to the party, there were certain individuals, because they had some outstanding food for this birthday party. And they had some delicacies from the Philippines at this party. And so there was two Filipino women, ladies, whatever you want to call them, who was bagging it up and taking it out to their car before the guests even got to the party to eat, all of the guests. And the host, who paid for it all, was shocked and dismayed and distraught when they ran out of food at the party. And then by doing some investigation and talking to people, because he didn't understand, how could we run out of this much food? We had X amount of people. I paid a caterer for all of this food. We made all of this food, all of this, and the food is all gone? It doesn't make sense how that people could burn through so much food. Well, and so a lot of people didn't get any food to eat that came in a little bit late. They didn't get food to eat, and that embarrassed him and brought shame upon him, is what he told me. So, and then when he found out later that, oh no, these two girls were Ziploc bagging food and hauling it out to their car, and it was a lot of food because I sat and watched it. I didn't know I was watching it at the time, but I and a few other people in this other part of the house had a perfect view to sit and watch the buffet area. And without question, they were bagging it up, taking it out to they took Walmart sacks full of food out to their cars, or outside. I don't know where it went, but it went outside, out the front, not the back, where the people were. So those people don't do anybody any service. And they make, they bring shame upon a culture and a family that was trying to do a nice thing. So that's why I have my own rules here. And but even with my rules in place, my pork belly was stolen the last time. I have chronic sciatica, so never get full relief. Yeah, mine's the lumbar nerve, right where the nerve forks, is what causes my problem. And I know what caused my aggravation this time. I've been on my mobility scooter so much, outdoors, in rough terrain, that the back of the seat, this is the back of my back, and this is the seat. Every time I hit bumps, it did this, I would do this, So I know that's what flared mine up. I know it is. I can feel just the spot where that seat always hits me when I hit a big bump, because my mobility scooter is not meant to go outside. It's meant to be an indoor one, and I go outdoors a lot. So that's what I know about that. So I know that's the problem. But hopefully, it'll get better. I've been doing everything I can to make it better, but it's definitely taken its time getting better, which is sad. And I don't want to go back to the doctor and have more injections done, and I don't want to do all of that stuff. I don't like that. I've had back injections 30 or 40 times, and it doesn't really seem to do enough to ease my burden. So I didn't get any lechon that I bought earlier this year for my girlfriend's birthday party. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. They would devour. And in the Philippines, and that's what's a little bit different. In the Philippines, it is the norm that whoever's inviting pays for some damn reason. And they still have the mentality here But a lot of times here with the American husbands, we say, no, that's not the way it works. You know, we lead by example. When my wife first got here many years ago, when we'd go to a party, I'm like, no, we have to take something to the party. We have to bring food and or drink, and we don't take more than we bring. So that's kind of an American ideology versus a Filipino mentality of going, hey, if somebody's buying, I'm eating. And I'm gonna eat all I want because they're buying, and they're just lucky to have me at their party. So it's a different clashing of ideologies here, so, or cultures. But, all right, my friends, so we're at about the 90-minute mark. So let's get off of here for now. I'll be back tonight. I'm going to come back and do a live stream this evening. So let's get off here for now. I hope everybody does well. Appreciate all the thumbs up, all the chat, and I'll see you guys later on tonight. Take care, everybody.